This week in Jamaica Now, it's back to Beijing. Usain Bolt declares he is ready for Justin Gatlin as the IAAF World Championships get underway. Asafa Powell says his start is still shaky, but he is going for gold. MVP coach Stephen Francis at it again.
This atrocity the J3 is organized this year, I am really worried about how my athletes will perform.
What the J3As has to say. Pastor Roper calls for police to scrap Christian award for new recruits, and the death that has the legal fraternity in shock. Attorney George Thomas killed in a horrific traffic crash. The details of these and other stories coming up after the break.
We're back! And when I say we're back, it means you, me, and my fabulous co-host makes three.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Davina, and you might remember me from last year's Road to Carnival, but this season I'm joining Tricks for Lifestyle Today.
I'm Carleen Brown, and this is Jamaica Now. Defending double sprint world champion Usain Bolt says after a shaky start to his season, he is ready to take on American Justin Gatlin at the 2015 IAAF World Championships in Beijing, China. Bolt, who turned 29 on Friday, said he would be defending his 100 and 200-meter titles, and he is not worried by Gatlin's dominance in the flat event in recent months.
I've been coming to championship for years, people have been running fast time for years. That doesn't scare me because I know what I'm capable of. And running one-hour races are easy, but coming to a championship and running back-to-back events, especially running 3 runs at the 100 meters and then 3 runs at the 200, it's not as easy as it looks on paper. So for me, I've been through many times, so I know what it takes, and I'm just looking forward.
Bolt is yet to run below 20 seconds in the 200 meters and posted a best of 9.87 this season at his last outing in London a few weeks ago. Meanwhile, former 100 meters world record holder Asafa Powell says he is in gold medal shape and is looking forward to winning the 100 meters in Beijing. According to Powell, although he is still not 100% comfortable with his start, his training has been going well.
I'm not focused on the world record, just to cross the finish line first. So definitely I'm in gold medal shape. I'm one to contend with. Going out there with everything I have, and definitely I'm going to run fast. With a season best of 9.81 seconds, Powell is the second fastest man behind American Justin Gatlin this season. Meanwhile, 400-meter relay hero in Moscow, Javon Francis, says he will be looking for something special in China this year.
I want to split 43, something, anything, high or low, so I was really pleased about that time.
In the meantime, MVP track coach Stephen Francis was at it again this week, saying the pre-World Champs training camp in Tottori, Japan was a waste of time and the worst ever organized by the J3As. But J3A's team manager Ludlow Watts has rejected Francis's claims.
This atrocity which the J3 is organized this year, I am really worried about how my athletes will perform, but I know that next year I'm just going to ignore them because it gets worse and worse. I am sick and tired of trying to let the J3s know that they are not experts. These people obviously can't organize them way out of garbage man.
I'm not 100% satisfied, but I believe we have made enough preparation to do well. What I would say, this is the best camp we have ever had in history, and we have done several. And the feedback I've got from the athletes, the coaches and the management staff has been a fantastic camp. I think the mood in the camp is good and generally good. Nothing is perfect, but I think the mood overall is generally good.
In other news, members of the legal fraternity were left in shock on Thursday following the death of the president of the Cornwall Bar Association, George Thomas. Thomas died from injuries he received in a car crash at the Flankers White House intersection in St. James after a Nissan Tida reportedly disobeyed a traffic signal and hit his Mercedes-Benz. Justice Minister Senator Mark Golding says the legal fraternity has lost a gentleman and a bright mind.
For him to have lost his life in this sudden and tragic way is very distressing to us all, and I just want to express my condolences to his family and his clients and his colleagues at the bar in Western Jamaica.
And the president of the Jamaican Bar Association, Donovan Walker, says Thomas was a valuable member of the legal profession.
His legal prowess and skill wasn't only while it was tested the most in the West, he was an advocate of the highest repute throughout all the courts in Jamaica.
Thomas received national honors for his outstanding contribution to law and community development in October 2010. The head of the Jamaica Theological Seminary, Rev Dr Garnet Roper, stirred controversy this week when he called for the Jamaica Constabulary Force to do away with an award for the graduating recruit with the best Christian principles. According to Rev Roper, the award represents an imposition of beliefs that should not be done under a state that is secular. The award, established in 1957, has been a feature of the JCF for the past 58 years. Rev Roper says it is more important for the JCF to honor recruits for honesty, discipline, and fairness. He also says taxpayers' money should not be used to reward persons in a secular entity for displaying any religious principle. The police high command says Jamaicans should not lose hope in the Jamaica Constabulary Force in light of recent incidents where cops have been involved in criminal activities. In the meantime, the Jamaica Police Federation, which represents rank-and-file cops, says the actions of these rogue personnel compromise and betray the integrity of the entire force. On Tuesday, a policeman who has been on sick leave was shot and injured in Black River, St. Elizabeth while attempting to rob a businessman outside the National Commercial Bank. Later that day, another cop was shot and injured in an undercover operation in St. Catherine while allegedly accepting money from a motorist whose car he had seized. Both cops are now in police custody. Forecasters are keeping a close watch on Hurricane Danny, which is now in the Atlantic, making its way to the Eastern Caribbean. On Friday, the storm further strengthened, packing winds of 140 kilometers per hour. However, forecasters say it could weaken over the weekend. Danny is the first hurricane for the Atlantic hurricane season, predicted to be one of the least active periods in recent years. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune into Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Carleen Brown, and as we go, more from the Jamaican athletes in the Chinese capital for the 15th IAAF World Championships in athletics.
I'm definitely in wonderful shape. That's not an issue. The only issue is that if I'm in the race sharpness as I should be, but I think going through the rounds, it will help.
I'm very pleased. I'm very happy with how I'm running. I haven't been able to nail the start yet.
Last year I make the semi, so I feel like I can make the final. So that is my aim.
I'm a tough individual. I'm very focused, and it doesn't matter what's happening around me. I'll definitely go for what is out there for me.
I believe once I put my mind to it, I believe I have the qualities to do very good racing.